The investigation into the alleged chokehold death of Eric Garner being watched very closely.
The Staten Island DA says that a grand jury will decide if any of the NYPD officers that were involved will face charges. Fox 5's Lisa Evers in the newsroom with more on what is exactly at stake for the NYPD as well as the DA tonight. Lisa.
Well, Derry and Steve, the eyes of the country and federal authorities are on Staten Island and the grand jury in the Eric Garner police chokehold case. Now some are questioning why the DA in charge of it all went on the radio after saying he'd have no further comment.
The video of Eric Garner being placed in an apparent police chokehold while being arrested was seen everywhere. District Attorney Dan Donovan announced last week he would let a grand jury decide if any police officers are to be charged. Political analyst Basil Smikle says the DA is walking a political tightrope.
He's in a really interesting position because he's going to have to balance the interests of his constituents and what the national media and national activists are expecting him to do here.
On August 19th, in a press release announcing the grand jury, Donovan stated, "Notwithstanding the keen public interest in this matter, to maintain the integrity of this investigation and in furtherance of my obligations under Penal Law Section 21570 to maintain the secrecy of grand jury proceedings, I will make no comment now or during the period of time that the grand jury is convened." 3 days later, Donovan went on John Catsimatidis' radio show for a 10-minute interview. Here's an excerpt.
Mr. Garner's death, because some of the circumstances surrounding it, there's allegations that he was selling loose cigarettes, which is may be a minor crime, but it's still in fact a crime.
Criminal defense attorney Scott Lehman believes Donovan is just doing his job.
Under the rules of the grand jury, he cannot talk about specifics of any case that's pending before a grand jury, and I don't think he did. I think what he did do was talk about his philosophy. He is an elected official, and I think the people of Staten Island deserve to hear that and probably want to hear that.
But former Kings County Assistant District Attorney Charles Coleman says it's highly unusual.
It was extremely surprising that a sitting district attorney would go on before a grand jury presentation and have that much commentary and that much to say about a pending investigation and a pending grand jury presentation. If anything, this shows that there's a strong need for a special prosecutor.
Donovan was elected by an overwhelming majority of Staten Island voters, many of whom are in uniformed services. I've interviewed him before, but this time we were told he was not available, and his spokesperson told us no comment.